Alrighty, a pretty interesting session today on ES. Let's go ahead and recap exactly what happened here. We came into the session looking for a reaction versus this 4,300. Now, as a recap, to kind of reiterate the prior context of where we've been trading, it was a near-term range following a downtrend. That near-term range resolved lower on Tuesday. Overnight session Monday morning, very early Monday morning, Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, we tested, if this resets, we tested that key area, daily volume point of control right through here, 4230. And so that has pretty much marked a low in the near term. Essentially what we've been looking to establish on today's session is whether or not buyers could show follow through above 4,300. They failed to do that. They absolutely failed to do that. Initially, we open near that 4,300. You get a pretty quick sell off down into our 4277. The significance of that 4277 again is last Wednesday's low. So that's been a level of interest for the past few sessions. Following that, just continued selling into this week's volume point of control. And so more accumulation here at the 4266, and then a bounce up into the 4,300. I was expecting a bit more action into the close here. We just kind of, if I get into the intraday, we just kind of chopped around after that 4,300. Expect a bit more of a reaction when we are testing that key level. One thing I noted in the chat was that volume was kind of below average. And so my expectation is, my kind of thought process here is that not a lot of activity ahead of the big NFP print tomorrow. More than likely going to see some resolution of the back-to-back inside bars that we currently have on the daily. If I pull off these levels, you can see it a bit more clearly here. So Wednesday's session, we have an inside bar there. Today as well, Thursday, another inside bar. The challenging thing here is you have the 200 MA below, which buyers are obviously looking to defend. However, we do have the fast MA during, pretty much a near-term trend lower that is keeping a lid on that near-term price action. And so what we're going to be looking for tomorrow is going to be pretty simple. How is this near-term range going to resolve? And by near-term, I mean the past 3 sessions. We want to see pretty much how today's bar, whether price breaks to the upside or downside, and then go with the direction of the break. Anytime you have an inside bar, you just want to go with the direction that the inside bar breaks with. The challenge here into NFP is that NFP may give us a gap. So you may not get a real opportunity to trade the break of the inside bar unless you are trading pre-market. So it will be kind of tricky. We'll have to see where price opens up in the morning, whether or not we are dealing with any type of gap, and then pretty much just take it from there. If NFP, if it's not a big event, if it doesn't really give us a huge move, the main watch is going to be the 4,300. That is a key area of resistance for right now. Again, when we zoom out, you can see it pretty clearly here on the chart, switching to the 30-minute. One of the ideas that we talked about this morning was treating this pretty much as a near-term range, right? The range breaks down. This is just a retest of the prior breakdown point. So you don't want to come into a session like today, super bullish, assuming that, all right, after yesterday, we're going to see some follow through. You need to first assess what that reaction is going to be at 4,300. And like we saw, pretty much rejected, right? So again, for tomorrow, pretty simple. We're going to be watching 4,300, assuming there is no gap from NFP. If there is a gap from NFP, we have pretty clearly defined levels to work with. I'll be looking at, again, this week's volume point of control down into 4267 area, 4265. Seeing a lot of accumulation through here. We also have the 4230. If 4,300 is rejected in a big way, that's kind of the next level that we're going to be looking to test. That was that overnight low from Wednesday morning. Now, if buyers step in pretty heavy, upside levels, pretty straightforward, right? 43.35 levels we've been working with over the past couple of weeks, 43.50. Once again, as a reminder, look at the near-term trend here. When I zoom out for the past few weeks, you can see this is a clear downtrend, right? We've had some ranges here and there, but sellers remain in control. This is a seller's tape. From a seasonal perspective, it should be that we mark a low pretty soon. Remember, seasonality is just kind of, it's like a guide. It's not a set in stone thing. We just look at that kind of as a guide. It's not a guarantee. It's not any type of confirmation. We just look at that, kind of as a broad overview of how it usually looks during this time of the year. Now, when we get into individual names, we still have AMD on the swing watch, looking at the 200 MA. Airbnb, another swing watch I'm interested in, 200 MA test right there. We did have Netflix on the swing watch, same story, 200 MA. And we do have Roku on the swing watch as well, similar story, 200 MA. So those four are on the swing watch. As far as day trade ideas, I'm looking at FSLY. Looks like there was some news here today. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I'll be treating this like a second day. We do have an area of support here on the daily chart at the 200 MA, but also real support right through here in your 15.5 area. And so essentially, as you know, if you've been trading with the team for some time, we're going to be looking at the reaction versus this first day volume point of control near 15.8 and kind of using that as a pivot point. That's FSLY. We also had Roblox that was on the list today. No real follow through. Looking for some continuation above 30, right? This is just a technical setup. Volume's a bit light, but looking for some continuation above that 30 level. From there, we do have the RIVN, second day trade, down into the 200 MA. That was our final PT4 for today. That did end up being hit. This was an excellent trade. I'm going to be looking at continued weakness on this one. Daily setup has broken down. We do have a big volume void right here. We're looking for continuation into 16. So that's RIVN. Any questions? Any questions on that? On the index? On the individual names? Any charts I missed that you want me to take a look at? FSLY was insider selling. Okay. Noted. Not a real fundamental change on the company news, but all right, big volume there. Good to know. NQ, Benny, let's take a look. So NQ, yeah, range, right? Inside day today. So you just want to see, look at the daily. We've got about 2 weeks of barcode here. You just want to see how this daily resolves. And so your key levels are the 14,600. I think we talked about this recently, but 14,600 key daily level, and your resistance is 15K. So about a 400 point range there. That's almost 2 ATR, or a little less than 2 ATR, excuse me. And so for NFP, you just want to see if this near-term range can be resolved. All right. So that's NQ. D-Wall's asking for SQ. Let's take a look. SQ, wow. I've not looked at this in a while. It's 52-week lows. So you have a bit of a bid today. I'm not interested in any longs versus 52-week lows. It's at 52-week lows for a reason. The only time I'm entertaining these trades near 52-week lows is when they have huge volume or some type of capitulation move. And with the capitulation move, you have huge volume. And by huge, I mean 3x or more. So this is trading on 153%. It's decent, but it's not enough to be compelled to try a long here, right? The trade is just way too hard. It's not to say it can't bounce. It's just, it's not an easy play whatsoever. It's a very, very tough trade. So I got to pass on the SQ. If you are wanting to look at this, you just need to see some continuation above 43. But again, that's a very tough trade. I think there's much easier trades in this market. So Alrighty. That's pretty much it. Main watch, of course, with NFP is just going to be the index. Once again, 4,300, our key level, right? So setup has been pretty straightforward. Action has been pretty clean. It is trading technically, so long as you are getting involved in the right areas. We had a number of the 2-hour trader framework setups in ES today, as well as SPY and NQ that paid nicely. So there are some easy money trades in here, definitely. It's just a matter of aligning yourself, with good location and with the main structure at play, both intraday and big picture. So that's the list. I will see you guys in the morning. Thanks for jumping in. Get some rest. We do have that NFP tomorrow. And have a good afternoon. Take care. Later.